Hello, good evening. Well, only good evening because I'm filming this at night, but you can see this any time of the day. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, like I just said. Anyways, this is the Renee Report. I'm Renee. I'm actually revamping it because I realized I'm very lazy with this. I've been doing them for so long and I've been doing different variations. So I've decided, just like a couple hours ago, I'm going to talk about one big entertainment story and then actually talk about a movie I've seen and do like a review of it. So one big entertainment story, or maybe like if they're two small ones, but won't go past two, and then one movie or show I've actually watched and finished. So I'm going to start that tonight. And then on my podcast, I'm just going to do Renee unedited, which I don't edit anything, so it doesn't really matter. Everything could be unedited. I'll go more in depth on like the stuff I'm talking about in this video. And I do want to film myself podcasting. It does go a little bit over than 15 minutes. So it will work on YouTube, but not on IGTV. So I have to work the logistics. So until then, I do my visual Renee reports in my closet, which I try to make a little cute. I just need more like makeup and stuff and perfumes and maybe more nice. I don't know, but whatever. It's good sound here, so I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna talk about Meghan Markle and Harry. I don't think I did a Renee report on their actual interview with Oprah. Did you watch it? Oh my god, it was good. But I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Meghan assumed a lot going into the royal family. Like, it was weird how in the interview with Oprah, I'm just getting right into it. So if you haven't watched it, it was on Hulu, but anyways, I'll give you like my version of what I saw. It was weird, like she went into this family not really understanding the whole royal thing. And then to me, I grew up with my mom loving Princess Diana, and I mean, there was a mini series based on Princess Diana's experience with the royal family, and they were like the best to her. So it's just weird. I think Meghan just thought she would be different or whatever. But I also think she misconstrued stuff and things were told in a weird way to Harry, and then he's like, so there was just a lot. And they're happy right now. I mean, Archie's gonna be a big brother to a little sister. I'm very supportive of their happiness. I'm really into the royal family. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a royal. I don't live in London. I don't know what it is. I do know that any place you go to that's of a lot of people know a lot about them, you're supposed to be a certain way and act a certain way and not ask questions about certain things. And I just think Meghan thought she would be different. Although I think she referred to as the royal family, like the people that worked for the royal family, some name. And I'm sure they weren't like the nicest people either. I just think, anyways, despite all that, that's not me. I mean, that's part of what I'm talking about. I'm talking mostly about the whole Piers Morgan thing. So if you didn't know about this, I actually heard about this when Meghan first started dating Harry. News came out they were dating. So the backup story, not the backup, the backstory, that's what I'm going to say. Piers Morgan was actually friends with Meghan, and this is when she was on Suits. So she was one of those actresses. She was in a few roles in movies, and then she started doing Suits and got really well known while being on Suits. So I think something happened. She was supposed to give him an interview. They were cordial to each other. I don't know if they were exactly friends. But when she started dating Harry, she just totally didn't want to bother with Piers Morgan. And not that everybody loves him, which, he doesn't work at his morning show that he was on. He walked out and they let him go. So anyways, from that point on, he's had this very strong opinion of Meghan, thinking she's an opportunist and she's not. She's out to just be this big celebrity. He said this. You can Google this. He said this. So basically he's always, it sounds like he really, like, it's like, just say it once, bro, and then, you'll keep on saying it. But it's probably he feels that way because no one comes off like they really believe him. They're just like, oh, you just don't like her because she didn't give you an interview. But I think there's some truth as to how she probably acted. I mean, there's a way to, going back to the whole royal, there's a way you're supposed to act in certain situations. And I just think, I'm just going to put it like Meghan's a very strong woman. She's strong in who she is. So, basically, Pierce got let go of his show, and then it came about with Sharon Osbourne. So this is what I'm really tying this whole story into. So Sharon is the head person on The View, not The View, The Talk, not The View. It's a totally different story, a totally different talk show. But it's like The View, there's 5 women. Mainly The Talk doesn't talk about politics. They mostly talk about like entertainment news, gossip, and they give their opinion on why certain celebrities act like this. So the whole thing came about Piers Morgan. Cheryl, who's one of the co-hosts, she said something about Piers, and Sharon just went on this rant. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but it was crazy. I saw it on Instagram. She's just yelling at Cheryl, like Cheryl doesn't know anything. Come to my realization, Sharon is kind of a badass. She's kind of, gives her opinion. I mean, she helped Ozzy skyrocket his career, Ozzy Osbourne. So obviously she's kind of those women that, says her opinion and will stick to it. And so that's why the talk went on like a break for a couple weeks. Come to find out she is let go from the talk, which I wasn't surprised. But the whole thing is she basically defended Piers Morgan because they've been friends for a while. And I think like she was called racist. The whole racist word comes about, and I just feel people run with it. And I don't really feel Sharon Osbourne is a racist. I don't think Piers Morgan is a racist. I mean, if they are, to me, I don't see it. I mean, I may not be really paying attention. I mean, of course, there's a bunch of people who are very obviously racist. Celebrities, though, tend to like tone it down when they're in the limelight. They do it. So whether they're racist or not, and they tone it down, this is where it's at. But it's all back to Harry and Meghan, which, in my opinion, I think it's good they did an interview. I feel that Meghan probably didn't get all the information correct. I think it was all through someone. So when you don't have all the information and you're accusing people, or just because it's the way you perceived it, or because that's how it came back to you, you should do your homework. But I think the damage was done so long ago that she just wants to let everyone know why exactly they left the royal family, which in the long run, if you look at interviews with Harry, he never really wanted to be a big part of the royal family. He just did what he had to do. It was his obligation. He really just cared about, keeping the legacy of his mom alive. And I mean, there's so much with this whole Meghan and Harry thing, and he doesn't even talk to his dad. And supposedly him and William are going to talk, though. They're going to talk. They're doing an honor thing to their mother, and I think it's next month. I'm not sure. I should do my research. I don't. But no, I'm pretty sure it's next month. So they're going to meet before Harry and William and talk, and so I don't know. We only know so much. It's caused this whole ripple effect within media, entertainment news, people being called out of saying this, doing that. So I think in the long run, Harry and Meghan are just going to be happy doing what they do. I mean, this is what they wanted ultimately. And in the long run, they should just be happy. So that's all I'm going to say about them. I mean, there's of course going to be more stories about him, but I don't know if I'm going to put it in the Renee report because I'm kind of over Harry and Meghan, but I know I didn't talk about it. So That's pretty much it. On to what to watch or what I did watch. So I'm going to review a movie. And I love how Netflix, like every few months, or they probably do it more often, but every once in a while they have like a Lifetime-ish movie on Netflix with like really famous actors. Like there was one with Nia Long that was on Netflix. I think I put it in my what to watch. And then this one that just came out last week with Kristen Davis and Dermot Mulroney. So it's called Deadly Illusions. And it's about Kristen Davis' character. She's a writer and she's supposed to write this book. So when she's doing her, this is a bunch of spoiler alert. So, I'm not going to try to give so much away, but I'm going to give a lot away. Anyways, she's a writer and she's trying, when she writes, her writing process is she gets really like into her writing and she's crazy and she has to be in her office. So her husband's like, well, in between time, she found out her husband like spent some of their money. So she's like, okay, well, I have to write this book because they have 2 kids who are twins, but they don't look like twins. And they must be like 9 or 10 or something. Anyway, so she decides to hire a nanny. And she meets this girl, Grace, who's played by Greer Grammer, who's Kelsey Grammer's daughter. Really cute girl. She was in that show Awkward, if you ever saw that show Awkward. So she becomes the new nanny, and she's like a godsend to Mary. But there's like an attraction between them. But it's weird how it's done. They just stare at each other. There's some sexy stuff, so don't watch it around your kids, especially like a 4-year-old. My daughter tried to watch it with me and I just said, oh my gosh, close your eyes or go away. Anyways, but the sexiest part is between Dermot and Kristen, who are both in their late 50s, who look so good together. They have some sexy scenes where I didn't know what to do. They're just so attractive and they look really good together. I don't know if they've ever worked with each other before, but Anyway, so Grace and Mary is Kristen's character's name. So they become really close. Like they have sexual vibes without being very sexual. Like there's stuff, but it's not like they don't involve in sexual activity, I guess. Her and Dermot Mulroney, and it's beautiful. Anyway, so turns out, Grace is like, she's one way with the husband and one way with Mary. So, and Mary's like thinking she's going crazy. Then her friend gets murdered, and she's accused of it. And come to find out, Grace has like a split personality. So I'm giving it away. Spoiler alert. And if you're watching this and you were thinking of watching the movie, I just gave it away. But anyways, the ending, I won't give away the ending. It's really creepy, but only her friend gets murdered, but it's a good movie. It's a guilty pleasure kind of movie. The acting's really good. And the setting, this house that they're at is just this gorgeous house. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But really watch it to see Kristen Davis and Dermot Mulroney. Dermot Mulroney make out with each other. It's a good movie. It's Deadly Illusions on Netflix, and that is my new version of the Renee Report. So it's going to be one big entertainment news and one movie review. So my podcast, I'm probably going to post it tomorrow, or post it probably when this comes out. So I don't know if I'm going to actually post this tonight. I'm giving too much information out. Anyways, it'll be a surprise. But I'll go more in depth in the podcast about these 2 subjects. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great rest of your week.